Hey everyone, so today we're going to teach you how to utilize the buyer's estimate within our Pacific Coast Agent 3.0 app. So we would go ahead and click into the buyer section. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on our quick estimate. Okay, so the quick estimate is going to give us a couple different options in where we can enter a couple pieces of information so we can quickly generate our estimate. Now up here you can start with the actual type of financing. So you can see you have a couple different ones to choose from, but for the sake of our presentation today, we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick with conventional. Now let's say we're going to have a typical sales price of about $450,000. Okay, now our down payment, we can actually enter that as a percentage or a dollar figure. I'm going to leave it at 10% because I want you to see how it actually takes into account the PMI. So interest rates, about 4.1. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. Okay, our term of 30 years. Okay, now miscellaneous. Now miscellaneous is anything that you'd like to add to the closing cost or remove from the closing cost. So if you click on this little gear button here, okay, it will actually bring up our menus here where you can add or remove anything from the closing costs. Now, if you click this little drop down here, it has some suggestions, but you can also include any of your own. These are just the most common ones that tend to be used. So if we go back, right, our hazard insurance at 0.35%, at 0.35%, and property taxes. So we know these tend to change depending on the city where you are at. So if you click this little gear button here, you're going to see that there are a bunch of different cities already in there available for you. Now, these are just some of the cities that I have in there by default. So depending on either which county you are in and your location, it should show you the surrounding cities along with their property tax percentage. Now, this little button here can also allows you to add, right, any new area that you'd like. So for the sake of our presentation here, we're just going to use Glendale. Okay, our closing date, we're going to choose that as of today. Okay, city transfer tax, again, some cities have a transfer tax, some don't. So depending on where you are located, okay, we're going to use Los Angeles. Okay, now escrow. Escrow defaults to our escrow, but you can actually put in an actual escrow fee or leave that as blank if it's just, you just want to give a buyer some basic information. So if you click compute, okay, it's actually going to generate a couple different figures for us. So you'll see that here's our home price of 450, our 10% down, which equates to 45,000, okay, and we would be taking out a loan of 405,000 at 4%. So let's talk payments. So payment, right, is 2,700, okay, breaks down into payment and interest of 1962, our hazard insurance of 131, our taxes of 457, and then here is our PMI of 178. Now our closing costs, 58,000, okay, which is a scary number, but the client can quickly see that really the majority of that is made up by their down payment. So their closing cost in addition to their down payment is 13,000. If you wanted to see what the closing costs are made up of, we can go ahead and click our little detailed closing cost button. Okay, it will bring it up and it will show you all of the different fees that make up that 13,000. Now these are just a bunch of different ones that I have in here. You can go ahead and edit these by clicking that button. You can remove any of these if you'd like, right? Or you can change any of them if you'd like, right? Origination fee, things of that nature. If you hit done, okay, it's going to ask you if you want to just save it for this estimate or for all future estimates. All future estimates comes in handy, so you don't ever have to make this adjustment again. So we're just going to do this for this estimate. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we hit close. Okay, so now, as you can see, I deleted a few things, so now our closing costs have actually dropped just a bit. Okay, if we wanted to send this to a client, we can go ahead and hit send. And what it's going to do is it's going to generate a buyer's estimate just like the one you see here. Now this one here came in Spanish, right? But you can easily change the language by clicking on this little A button here at the top, and you'll be able to see all of the different languages that you have available. If you wanted English, just go ahead and click on English, and it's going to go ahead and it's going to make the adjustments for us. There we go. All right, property details. If you wanted to enter the specific property address, we can use our location tool, and it'll go ahead and locate you where you are at. You can add properties of the photo either by taking a physical picture of it or searching your camera gallery. Now this is important because clients tend to look at a couple different houses when they're shopping, right? And when they begin to compare estimates, they might not know which property they're looking at just by the name. So this comes in really handy when you want to personalize an estimate. And then all you really do is just hit the send button, and you can either send it as an email or a text. Text is a great tool because if you click on the text, it will appear just like that in a text message, right? Which allow you to capture their phone, and that's a lead capture. We really hope this was a helpful video. Thanks, guys.